Yesterday, I went before the Lord for 3 hours, and I literally sat and prayed, and I was just asking God specifically about alcohol. And one of the reasons why is because alcohol has been so socially accepted now in the world, especially in the Christian church. And this is not to judge anybody. Trust me, I've had my own issues with alcohol. I've seen the damage it could do in my life and my family's life and my friends' life and so many people's lives. But I just really wanted to go before the Lord about it. And I was praying specifically, Lord, is it okay for your people to drink alcohol? And he led me to 1 Peter 4:7 that says, the end of all things is near. So be ye therefore sober-minded so that you can pray. And I looked up the word sober in the concordance, and I looked it up in the Greek, and it said to be in one's right mind. And the Lord reminded me that we are living in the last days. We really are. I mean, it's getting close. We're starting to see everything in the Bible begin to come to pass, just like Jesus said it would. And so, therefore, I was just thinking about it, and I was praying about it, and I made a decree before the Lord. I said, Lord, I know that people do it. I know I've done it, but I'm recommitting myself not to drink alcohol and to stay sober. And like I said, it's not to pass judgment on anyone. If you have to work your own convictions out with fear and trembling before the Lord, but I've never heard anybody say, you know what, I quit drinking and my life got so much worse. But I do hear a lot of people say, you know what, I quit drinking and my life certainly got better. And I began to think about what I heard somebody say one time. I was watching a video, and a gentleman was addressing alcoholism and alcohol. And as believers, we really don't want anything in our life to be habits in our life that's going to deter us from doing the work of the Lord. And that's the bottom line. But he said something, and it hit me. He said, what if you were drinking and you were intoxicated and somebody called you and said, hey, I need you right now. There's an emergency. I need somebody to come and pray. Would you feel comfortable going and praying? And that thing hit me, and it made me think. But I've seen, even as a counselor, damage that alcohol can do to people. Drugs. I've never had a drug problem, never did drugs, wouldn't even know how I felt doing them. But I think about the damage that drugs and alcohol, especially in South Florida where I live, have had an impact on people, destroying people's lives, families, ministries, integrity, and so forth. Like I say, I've dealt with it. I've had people in my family deal with it. I come from a long line of alcoholics in my family where we literally bottled and made our own alcohol at my granddaddy's house. But I'm recommitting myself to not have any habits in my life that's going to deter my testimony, deter my ministry, deter my calling, because I do believe, like 1 Peter 4:7 says, we are living in the last days. And it's time to sober up. And I don't know what your habit is. I don't know what your vice is, but I'm asking you to think about this one. And I know a lot of times people drink these days because they're going out and it's socially acceptable, and they're wanting to, gather with friends and have a good time. But I'm here to tell you, if there's a vice in your life, it's time for us to take this serious, because God, in the middle of all this transfer and everything, he's about to not only transfer our finances and give us prosperity, but he's about to transfer and transform our callings. And as he does that, it's time to take some things out of our lives that we don't need. And there's certain things we don't need, and I think alcohol is one of those for me. So you pray about it. I'm not telling you, thus saith the Lord for you. I'm just telling you, thus saith the Lord for me. And if you'd put in the comment section of this video, say, hey, Randy, you know what? I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to stand in agreement with you. I'm not going to partake in things. And if you don't feel like naming those things, that's all right. I'm just putting myself out here and trying to be a witness and just trying to be transparent, because that's what it's all about, because we don't have much time left. The end is drawing near, and God is calling for us to set our lives apart and be holy, even as he is holy, so he can use us in these final hours. I love you. I'm praying for you, and you pray for me in Jesus' name.